5 kickoff session. It's great to have you all here today and to be able to share this hour with you and the Spanish team. So we are just going to wait a couple more minutes in case there's any more people that are coming in. Are you allowing anyone else, or shall we move forward?
There's nobody in the waiting room.
Okay. There we go then. Okay, so today we are going to be discussing in today's session, we will be discussing who we are, what we do. Many of you already know because you've been with us for some time. But we always have new people in the team. We will be also discussing our methodology, our quality assurance process, systems. There are a few new things that we would like to share, and a few other things that are coming, and also what it means to work for us as a teacher, what it implies. So we are going to move on then to introducing our team. So I'll start. So I'm Cristina. Based in the Madrid office. I'm the team lead for the training management team in Spain, and well, I'll let my colleagues introduce themselves so that you meet them in case you haven't yet. So,
Hey, I'm going to
Vicky.
jump in. Yeah, my name's Vicky Jumelo. Here I'm Victoria, so quite formal. Some of you I've already met before, so hello. So I work with all the training management team in the offices in Spain, Sweden, and in Finland. And it's really great to be here today. So nice to see you all. And I'll pass it over to Dennis.
Dennis, also based in the Madrid office. I've been with BBI for 6 years now. Um, and I've been based in Spain, Madrid for the last 17 years. And the clients I deal with, Spanish-based clients. So I think I will know many of you here today. So I'll pass it over to Liz.
Do it alphabetically. Yeah. Hi, I'm Liz. I also know lots of you, although unlike Dennis, I'm in the Barcelona office. And yeah, I've been here for how long have I been here now? 3 years?
3 years.
3 out of my 16 in Barcelona, I think. And most of my clients are coincidentally Barcelona based, although I am working with some of the Madrid teachers currently. Nicole.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm also located in the Barcelona office. I've been with BBI for 3 years now as well, I believe. But living here for about 15. So, lots of experience with this. Lots of your faces too, I recognize, and some new ones that are starting up with this year too, which is exciting. Um, I also work a little bit in the intercultural competence department, which is another sector that we have here at BBI Communications. Elena?
Hello, my name's Elena. I haven't met most of you virtually, but we've spoken through email or maybe some phone calls. And I'm the person who helps out with contracts, payslips, invoices, etc. And I also help the training manager team with setting up courses, some administrative tasks, and I also help the IC department, which Nicole is part of. So very nice to see you and welcome you all to this meeting.
Thanks, Elena. Something else also you will be getting from Elena every 2 months, is it?
Every 2 months, the teacher newsletter, which is a tool we've been using the last couple of years to keep up with you teachers with news, updates, or maybe sometimes like little reminders of processes. And as Chris said, it goes out every 2 months. You should have received, for example, the latest newsletter this week. And well, keep an eye out in the next few months for the next one.
Thanks, Elena.
Thank you so much, Elena. Just moving on to give you a brief overview of the different language solutions that we offer. Many of you are already involved in our weekly extensives, but we also have workshops. We do intensive courses for those who need to really see to boost their proficiency rapidly. We also do a lot of testing for recruitment. Some of our teachers here are involved in that process with us. So we offer accurate, streamlined evaluation of language skills. You also just heard there that Nicole and Elena are involved with the intercultural side. We offer a mixed program where we do language and cultural insights. We also offer real world practice and also a consultancy where we really go into depth with different customers, and we look at tailoring their language programs for ongoing support and growth. So that's something that we just wanted to remind you of, that it's not only the classes that you're doing, we do so much more. And we also have our intercultural solutions, which is something where we're not just a language specialist. We really do believe that the intercultural side of learning a language and to be able to communicate with each other is so important. So we offer the consultancy, training, coaching. And if you're interested in finding out a little bit more, you can always have a look at our website, and there's a lot more information on there about what we do. Oh, sorry, let me go back to the presentation here. A bit going back to meet the team and who we are. So you've met all of us just now, and you already know many of us anyway, but we also like to highlight our team of teachers and also our colleagues. So here we can see Patrick. I think Patrick is here. So hope you're not too embarrassed seeing yourself on the big screen here, Patrick. This is something that not only do we put on LinkedIn, but we also put it in our teacher newsletters, in our client newsletters, and again, just to really show who we are, because it's not just about the internal side of things about us, it's you're the ones who really make us what we are. So yeah, if you're interested in I may reach out to you in the future to see if you'd like to be spotlighted, so don't be surprised if you suddenly get an email from me asking if you'd like to be on LinkedIn. So thanks for your collaboration with that. And I think I'm passing now over to Dennis.
Yes. For methodology, and if we can go to the next slide.
Let me just find where we are. Here we go. There we go.
Okay, excellent. So if we go back, sorry,
I'll go back.
So,
there you go.
So our methodology and quality assurance. So what is our recommended approach? What are we committed to delivering to our clients? And give you a quick overview if you're not already aware of the exact steps in our process. So as most of you are aware, I think our method, as Vicky mentioned, tailor-made courses adapted to the needs, professional objectives of our students. And that methodology has 3 pillars, if you like: input, output, and awareness. So input, relevant content, appropriate content; output, the active use of that new language, that target language; and awareness, the constant improvement and feedback that we give our students. Um, so we're accelerating their journey, their language journey. If we go to the next page, so yeah, the learner focused programs, it's a very communicative, engaging classes, and that's based on collaboration, real world experience, real world language, and peer learning within the class. So engaging the group and making the groups, our in our group classes, making them really work as teams. Then, in terms of what we think classes should look like, and great classes do look like, if we go to the next page, we've got the five steps, the welcome engagement of the students to the class, objective setting, reflection on what has been learned so far, either in the previous class or in the course overall, reflection, a review in detail of what they've learned, and what they've acquired in previous classes. Engagement in their use as well, crucially, of the language outside of the classroom. A new input. Every class having clear objectives and diverse objectives to meet their needs, to stimulate and engage students. Context, as I was saying before, very active classes. That means the students using these new language inputs in a very interactive way, and then crucially each class ending with a summary reflection of what has been learnt, your feedback as the teacher into the errors or doubts that may have appeared in the class, and this really is crucial in their journey of acquiring new language. And then, if we go to the final slide that I'll be speaking on for now, our process, our commitment to our clients, to our students. When a new class starts, there is a needs analysis of both the company and the students. So we understand where they are, and what obviously what their needs are, the level testing, so in advance the appropriateness, the correct materials that you'll be focusing on. The proposal is where we define the program, the outline of the program. They'll need exactly this next step 4 and 5 to confirmation, and then for you as teachers, the first step, the definition of that language program. So from your training manager, you'll be getting the context, and then you set a very precise, achievable objectives for the class. Between the 4th to 5th session of a new client, of a new students, new group, we will send a first check survey. This is to help us verify everything's on track in terms of the satisfaction of the students, and sometimes helps us identify small changes or alterations which can get us to that place where we have students fully satisfied, fully engaged. And then the final course evaluation, where the students give us their feedback on what they felt they've achieved, and also you will be asked to give a progress report so we can track what exactly has been done, what has been achieved in the course. So with that, quick introduction to the methodology and our process, I'll hand back to Vicky because she's going to present some of the results that our process, our methodology has delivered.
Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, absolutely. This is something that we really do want to celebrate. I've just noticed a slight inconsistency on the slide before. I hadn't updated that, so it's actually better than the slide before. But one of the last parts of the process, of the quality assurance process that we do, is sending out the final evaluation. As teachers, you do the final report, and then we ask participants to do their final evaluation of the course. This is always shared with you, just for new teachers who have joined us today. We're very transparent with all the information that we receive, but this is something that we have received in the first 6 months of 2025, and this is really for Spain. We do the ratings as each country, and then we have a group overview, but I wanted to really highlight here how well the Spanish team are doing, how you guys are doing so well. So we do the Likert scale between 1 and 5 for all of our surveys, and we have received a 4.6 out of 5, with participants saying that they are satisfied with their language program, which is amazing. We then have teachers. You always get the best ratings out of all the surveys that we do. This question is always the highest. So the teacher had a good knowledge of the topics, was able to explain clearly, basically mean they're very, very happy with their teacher. And we achieved a 4.8 out of 5. So again, amazing. And in the first 6 months of this year, 98% of participants who took our language training courses and completed the survey would recommend our courses to a colleague. So we do need to celebrate. This needs to be shared with you as well. So, really well done for all your hard work here. And I do need to update the slide before, because I think it said 97%. So we've actually gone up a little bit there. Great. So I'm going to now pass it on to, is it Liz?
Yes. Okay. Our systems. Everything that's related to you tracking your classes, all those admin bits that we need to do, logging hours, Fundai, etc. There's always a few reminders here. So we're going to just have a little review of contents and objectives, what we need to do for that. There's something we want to draw your attention to about attendance, which is a tool you might not have seen before. A reminder also about uploading material. And then I think Vicky's going to just introduce a couple of new things about a messaging service we now have on Moodle, and free online activities, which is something that's new for September that we're going to be rolling out. So we're going to start with contents and objectives. Vicky's just mentioned feedback generally is fantastic. So you're obviously all doing a brilliant job. There is one thing that we see every time we do a survey. If there is one issue, one complaint, shall we say, it's that students are often not clear on what the exact goals and objectives of their course are. Is something as teachers that often we're quite clear, but we see that our students often don't have it. They don't feel as involved in the process, shall we say. So you receive, when you start a course, we tend to send you some very generic contents and objectives that are geared to the level of your course. Sometimes when you're doing a blended course, for example, or if you're working in TBS, we will send you a more specific syllabus. But in the majority of our courses, we will send you some generic contents and objectives with the idea that you look at them with your students and you include them in the process of choosing and setting objectives for their course. It's really, really important that you do this. Okay, the contents and objectives of the course need to be really clear. They need to be collaborative so that students feel like they're actually being able to tell you what it is that they need to learn. And they need to be available to students. We need to save these objectives somewhere where they can access them later on. Okay, that place is on Moodle, on my BBI, on your course page where you also have your Zoom link, your attendance. So when we send you the contents and objectives at the start of the course, you look at them with your students, you set some very specific objectives, they're saved on Moodle, and please refer back to them during the course. It could be that you might want to alter them. It could just be so that you can check them and show them to students and say, this is what we've already done. This is what we're going to be looking at next. It can seem really clear to us as teachers where we're heading in a course, but often it's just not. We've seen that it isn't as clear for students. They need that reminder of the fact that we have these clear objectives in a course. So please, 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 when we send you the document with the contents and objectives, use it, show it to your students, save it somewhere really obvious in the contents and objectives folder on their course page. We're going to try and really simplify this process for you in the next few months so that when we start the next round of courses in January, we have something that's really simple for you and really obvious for students as well. But at the moment, the courses that have started, we're following the same process, okay, which is that if you are teaching a course that is not blended and does not have a specific syllabus, you need to be discussing contents and objectives with students. Okay.
Yeah.
Attendance. Some of you do it perfectly every month. Thank you so much. It makes our job so much easier. If you need a reminder or if you have not done attendance before on my BBI, there is a guide on the Teachers Plaza. You can see there on the left side of the screen, we have a PDF guide of how to record attendance. Or, for example, if you teach a one-to-one class, the time has changed or you change one day, it sometimes can just be quicker for you to change the attendance yourself instead of getting in touch with us. This is, if you don't know how to do it or you just want to check, look at the guide. Okay. We have to be really careful with attendance because lots of the courses we do in Spain are subsidized. You hear us talk a lot about Fundai. It's really, really key that our administration with these courses is perfect. Okay, because somebody can come in and check to make sure that things match up. And if the attendance isn't all there, we can have big issues. One thing that can help you and in turn help us as your training managers, on my BBI, you have, oh, somebody's translating me. I'm speaking, can anybody else see this? It's just me.
No.
I have to confirm that I'm speaking English. Sorry, there we go, I am. I can't tell. It's just my accent, I'm sorry. On my BBI, you will see on the left-hand side of the screen a box that says BBI attendances. You can see it here, it's highlighted in red. And you have a session jump board. And if you click on that, it will give you a list of all the sessions that you have taught where you need to complete attendance. And it will tell you if you've done it or not. Often what we find is that somebody has done the attendance, but perhaps a student arrived late, so they just missed one person in a class. It takes us hours and hours to check these things, and then you'll find that we send you messages saying, can you remember if this person came to this session on this day? This is how you can find that out. If you look on this example here, I'm going to move my videos over so I can see it. You'll see that the third session down, it has kind of a warning sign because that attendance has not been completed properly. Okay, so if you need to check whether you've filled in absolutely everything on your attendance, you go to the session jump board and it will highlight for you if there is a day that you've not done, or if you've filled in most of the attendance on one day, but maybe you just missed one person. So this is something you can do every few days, maybe weekly. Go in here and it will tell you if you have finished doing your attendance, okay? And that will save us messaging you at the end of every month, asking you to remember really specific details. So it will be a great help if you can do that. And I think, Vicky, handing back to you to talk about some new exciting things.
Thank you, Liz. And I think, yeah, that was a really great explanation of how to use the jump board. It is a very useful tool, just to check, to double check if you've missed something. Some of you are already using it, some of you not, but give it a go, because it may save you some time there and save the training managers going backwards and forwards saying, have you done this yet? So what's new? These are things that are coming, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I know there's a lot more that the team want to share with you today. But as Liz mentioned, you know, the contents and objectives, there is going to be a hopefully a slightly easier way for you to do that. So that will be starting to be introduced with some of the courses, but your training manager will let you know and will give you support on that. But I think it will be a much easier and quicker way for you to be doing that. So that will be rolling out gradually, and then next year we'll all be using that. I think that was the uploading material bit. I'm not sure what the uploading material is. I think that's contents and objectives.
It's also,
There's
sorry, Vicky, it's also related to the material that they use during their classes. They also have a folder where they can upload material that has been used, or any presentation, PDF file, anything that they would like to share with their students. Mainly if they miss any classes, or if they it's good that they save everything they're using there in that folder. Also
Great.
on my BBI.
And that's within everyone's course, right? In the
Mhm.
course, they have a folder there where they can go in, which says materials, and they can just go in and upload things there. Perfect. With the messaging students, now this is something that we have been discussing for a while now, and we need to be very, very careful with the information that we share with you as teachers, due to GDPR. So there might be times when we can't share with you participants' email addresses or their phone numbers. And what we're doing now is starting this messaging on My BBI, so that within your course, if your students need to contact you, they can just click on a message my teacher, and a message will be sent to you on My BBI. You'll have a little icon come up on your dashboard when you log in. You'll see on the top right that there'll be a message, but you'll also receive it in your inbox. Again, we don't want this to be flooding you with extra emails that you don't want. So this will be, again, rolled out with certain courses. You will receive more information on this. Okay, we won't go into too much more detail now, but you will always be the first to know before we roll something like this out. We won't do it and then go, surprise, your students are messaging you 10 times a day. So we're very aware of what type of courses you have, where this would be useful, and we'll start implementing this and inform you as and when we start doing this. Another feature that we are starting to roll out this autumn, and again, you will be informed as and when it happens with your courses. As I said again, you guys will be the first to know before the students. But we are offering online activities for English and Spanish. So we created some activities on our Moodle, My BBI Online, some years ago. and we've decided that we are going to now give that to students to help them to do extra work if they want some homework, if they want to review topics that you've been doing throughout your courses. It's all very CEFR appropriate. It is not any extra work for you. This is not a blended course. It's really, we're giving them access. They can use it if they want to. We encourage you to say, hey, when we let you know that we're rolling it out, encourage them to use it. But it's not something that you need to go in and check anything. In fact, you will have access as students. So if you want to go in, obviously you don't want to take all the activities yourself, but you can have a look at what type of activities they are. Maybe you can use it as a jump board in your classes. You use it how you wish. But the idea here really is to give an extra resource to our learners, because we've had some really great feedback over the years about how it's being used. So we're now giving that access to all future participants. Okay, but we'll send you more info on that via email as we start doing that with each client. But it's just a heads up for you to understand this is what's going to happen. Great. I'm not sure who I'm passing this over to now. Odo, is it Dennis or is it Nicole?
Dennis.
It is me. It is me. So Odo, as you are familiar, very familiar with Odo, our CRM, just 4 elements on this for us. This system, the timesheets are essential for transparency. So we have it's very open what is happening in the classes. For you as a teacher, it functions as a brilliant content tracking tool, particularly where you have year-long courses. When you do substitutions or your class needs to be substituted, it's really useful for that teacher or for you as the substitute teacher that you know exactly what the students have been doing. So it makes all of our lives a lot easier. And in the case of having classes with flexible timetable, having a precise record of how many hours you've done, when that class happened is crucial. So this is our reasoning or the importance of it for us. If we go to the next page, we can look at so the detail in terms of what we need, the format, the time of the class, as I said, and a brief description of the content. So what was the grammar point? What was the skill exactly used or practiced? What was the activity? Over the course of this new term now that started, we will be reaching out to some of you. So we have more descriptive timesheets in terms of what's happening in class. As I said, it's important for transparency, and of course links to the emphasis we're going to put on the increased emphasis we're going to put on contents and goals. So using this tool fully to keep the students on track and also keep ourselves on track. I think if we go to the next page, it's just a couple of things to keep in mind. I think the majority of you are well aware of them. Once a timesheet has been submitted, you can't edit it. If you see an error, if there's some problem, reach out to your training manager immediately. If you have doubts, or more newcomers, if you've doubts about timesheets, submitting them, there's the reference on the Teachers Plaza uh, which should clarify, and if not, always feel free to reach out to one of us. And in general, if you see any issue with the timesheets, we can fix that very quickly. So always feel free to reach out to us. And now I'll pass over to Nicole, who's going to describe more about expectations and the experience of working with us.
Yes. Hello. Can we go to the next slide, Vicky? Okay. So we've been talking about a few little administrative tasks that are required or expected of our teachers. Timesheets, attendance, working with your group to make your contents and objectives. But the last thing that is expected is to complete a teacher final report for each participant. Okay, so whether you have a one-to-one course, then you need to complete one. If you have a group, you need to complete one per student. Okay, when do we need it? Depends on your course. Your training manager will set a date in advance and let you know when it needs to be completed. But ideally, it's handled at the end of a course so that we can complete an evaluation for each participant. Why is it needed? Well, because we like to give our student feedback so that they can see how they have progressed throughout the course. Understand that typically a student needs to complete around 120 hours to be able to advance a level. So it's important that we don't need to always see that they're going up a level when we create these reports. We like to include other comments that are connected with the contents and objectives that we've created earlier on. So if their goal is to advance in communicative skills or to work on preparing presentations, these are the type of things that we like to assess them on at the end of the course. So it's good to give feedback to the participant as well as to the client's HR contact. How do we complete it? I'm going to show you that a little bit more on the next slide, but it is a digital report done through our platform Odo, which is the same place where you do your timesheets. Having it be digital makes it very user-friendly and easier for you guys. You log into the link that's provided to you and you complete one for each participant, like I said. Who sees it? After it's completed, your training manager goes through them, make sure that everything's okay, everything's clear, and we, like I said, we send it off to each participant as well as HR so they can see how their participants are progressing as well. Next slide. So how do we complete it? Like I said, you'll be provided with a link by your training manager for each client. So be careful. It's not just one link for everybody. You'll get a link per client, okay? As well, there is a guide that explains it. So you'll have all this information provided to you by your training manager. But it's very basic. As you can see here, they have questions that can be very general. For example, what did the participant do well? What does the participant need more support in? And they have options, and you can click as many as apply to the participant. We ask that you click at least one, but sometimes more than one can apply, so make sure you read through all of them. You also might be asked to complete a few comments. Any feedback that is both positive and productive is encouraged to incorporate onto these reports. Most important, at the end, you have to click submit, which may seem pretty obvious, but if you don't hit the submit, then it doesn't go through in the system. Also, we recommend that once you start with one, you complete it. You cannot go in and put certain things, then start somebody else's, and then go back. You start with one and you finish. Okay? Similar with the timesheets. If you're not sure if you made a mistake or anything like that, you consult with your training manager and they can show you exactly what you've done and help you with it. Okay? Community and professional development. So we work with lots of different teachers teaching many different languages. So we have on our Moodle system of MyBBI a Teachers Plaza, which is basically a course that we created specifically for you guys where we share guides. So anything that you've received during your onboarding, guides on Odo, guides on MyBBI, how to upload attendance, how to do teacher reports, anything that we've talked about today, you can find in this course uploaded as a document for your reference. We also have them separated by language. We like to share certain materials, some lesson plans, things that other teachers have shared with us that want to be shared amongst the community of BBI. We upload them here too. For the start of the new courses, we're in the process of upgrading it a little bit and organizing it, so you'll see some improvements as well in the future to come. And just a little bit more information about our teacher network because we're very proud of it. We recruit regularly. We work with over 130 teachers to deliver these courses all around the world. Our clients, yes, the majority of them are in Spain, but we're not limited to just international clients that work here in Spain. Our teachers are qualified language teachers, also coaches, facilitators, and cooperative partners with us. Like Vicky said, we like to take our teacher profiles and advertise them and show them off to the world. So you might be asked to share on LinkedIn or even maybe participate in some of our webinars and lounges, which is the next point. We offer training to all of you. We like to get your feedback. We do things, as Elena said, send you bi-monthly newsletters with information that we think will be helpful in for you. We offer webinars on important topics that come up in the teaching world, such as AI or the difference between virtual classes and face-to-face classes, any type of conversations like this. We also offer teacher lounges that sometimes are monthly or bi-monthly, depending on our workload and your workload, of course. But it's a nice place where we offer to have teachers just come and chat about any topic that's been coming up. Maybe if the majority of you are with a certain client or any really, it's an opportunity for you guys to communicate amongst yourselves with us, have conversation, and create this little networking system that we know we all value. Feedback is openly shared and discussed and assessed. We ask you all to participate in a yearly survey that we send to you at the end of the year because we value your feedback. We want you guys to be comfortable. We want to know what you think is working, what's not working, any advice. We take all that into consideration, so get ready to receive that by the end of the year. We work together to maintain the highest standards of quality within BBI. Again, this is all comes back to your feedback. The more you tell us, the more you provide us, the more we can help and make this company better for all of our teachers too. We encourage creativity and customization in course material. Like I said, any materials you want to share with your colleagues, we can post onto the Teachers Plaza. We can talk about in our teachers loungers, things like this. We assign the teacher with the best fit for our program. It's important to understand that your training managers and even training managers that you don't work with might offer you more courses. We all work together as a community, so you'll receive offers. You're not obligated to take any course that doesn't appeal to you. We want to be able to provide you with courses that interest you, that motivate you, and that will keep you entertained throughout the whole process. So it's a collaboration of give and take between your training managers and of course yourselves. Okay? And I think it goes to Chris now, right?
Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, there we go. So I see we're kind of running out of time, so I'm not going to go into detail here, because there's also a few other points related to communication with participants and data protection, etc., that I think are important. Plus, also to give you some time to ask any questions you had or share anything, any ideas that you would like to share. But just so you know, we are going to be stressing the following points here because it's as a language training and intercultural training company, we feel that we should be working together in diversity, and there are certain values and attitudes that we expect we all share and apply in our classes and in our interaction with participants. So if we speak about attitudes, respect, openness, curiosity are really important. And we'll be sharing these ideas with you, and we'll be sharing this presentation and the video once this is ready. So you'll be able to have a look at this in detail. And it is also important to and we value your knowledge and understanding of cultural self-awareness, understanding your own cultural identity and how it shapes your perceptions, as well as your cultural knowledge, social linguistic awareness, and an awareness of the different world views. And when we speak about skills, there are certain skills that are key, and listening, observing, analyzing, interpreting, and relating. These are all key to your attitude and your interaction throughout the class. But as I said, I don't want to go into too much detail here because we're running out of time now. So I'm going to move on to Elena, that is going to, there we go.
So, I think we've mentioned this several times in our newsletters, but it's also something that training managers try to reinforce in your talks with you guys. But as Vicky mentioned, GDPR, data protection law, has become a big thing lately, and it is becoming bigger and bigger. So we have to be careful of the data we come in touch with, how we work with the data, how we send it, how we transmit it, etc. So it's very important to follow the directions of your training managers and communicate anything that you need to share with your students or share with the client to your training manager first, as they are the point of contact with the clients. It's also very important to highlight here the use of My BBI and the messaging tool, which will enable you to also use that tool in a data protection environment safely, but also make it easier for you. And remember to also update your training managers on all of this. So texting your students directly from your phone to their phone numbers is not something we approve, especially in a data protection sense. Emails, the same, WhatsApp, etc. So it's very important. All communication with your clients, participants, has to go through BBI, either through your training manager or, for example, through the messaging tools. It is true that every client has its own needs and it has its own way of working. So maybe it's something you can discuss again. So maybe a client will prefer messaging or will prefer an email rather than the messages through My BBI. But again, your training manager is your point of reference in this kind of thing. So always check, inform of any changes, any class rescheduling, anything to your training manager. It's very important to highlight that for not just data protection law, as I mentioned, but also to help the courses, to help your work, and to help the training managing team work as smoothly as possible. And well, I think like Chris said, we're running out of time. So I think all of us here would like to thank you for connecting today. And we will have now a bit of a question time. So if you have any questions, anything you would like to mention, talk to us about, you're welcome to ask questions through the chat, and we'll go one by one to answer them.
Just one thing, I'm going to stop recording so that if you would like to